All right, deep divers, buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into ancient aliens.
One of the most fascinating and, let's be honest,
Yeah.
controversial topics out there.
You got that right.
We're talking about ideas that could completely rewrite history as we know it.
Exactly. Our source material this time is an episode of Mysteries of the Cosmos, where they explore the possibility that extraterrestrials played a part in shaping early civilizations.
They really get into it.
Oh yeah, they get deep into it.
Big time.
So aliens building pyramids sounds a little far out there, right?
Right.
But that's what makes it so interesting to talk about.
I agree.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
What's the core idea behind this whole ancient aliens theory anyway?
Essentially, it suggests that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth way back when, and they didn't just, stop by for a quick hello.
Right.
They actually left their mark and potentially influenced how human societies developed.
Okay, so imagine
Yeah.
aliens hanging out with cavemen, maybe giving them some tips on architecture or agriculture.
That's the idea.
A little wild.
Yeah, it's a wild thought for sure.
But where does this theory even come from?
Well, proponents often point to those mind-blowing structures from ancient times
Go ahead.
that seem practically impossible to build with the technology they had back then.
Yeah, like how did the ancient Egyptians move those 80-ton blocks to make the Great Pyramid?
Exactly. And what about the Nazca lines?
Right.
Those enormous geoglyphs in the Peruvian desert that are only visible from the air.
I've seen documentaries where they try to build a pyramid with primitive tools, and it's insane.
Oh, it's a monumental task. It
Yeah.
makes you wonder if maybe a more advanced intelligence was involved.
Right.
And it's not just structures either.
Okay.
Ancient texts and myths are full of stories about sky gods, flying chariots, beings descending from the heavens.
It's true. I always kind of pictured aliens using some crazy advanced tech to move those massive stones for the pyramids. But what do actual scientists say about how it was done?
Well, there are theories about ramps, levers, rollers, and amazingly organized labor forces.
Okay.
Some researchers even think they used water and buoyancy to move those huge blocks.
Interesting.
But honestly, we still don't have a definitive answer that satisfies everyone.
The mystery remains.
It really does.
It's definitely fun to think about what kind of ingenuity or maybe even some otherworldly help was involved.
I agree.
But this ancient aliens theory goes even deeper than that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about building stuff.
That's not just about the buildings.
Yeah.
Some proponents believe that aliens actually played a role in human evolution.
Oh, hold on.
Imagine genetic manipulation or advanced knowledge passed down from these beings that suddenly pushed humanity forward.
Okay, now that is mind-blowing.
It really makes you think.
So we've got these amazing structures, intriguing ancient stories.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the biggest pieces of evidence that really draw people into this theory?
Well, the Great Pyramid is a perfect example. Millions of stone blocks, the precision, the astronomical alignments.
Yeah.
It still baffles engineers today.
And what about the Nazca lines? Those
Yeah.
giant geoglyphs that look like they were made for someone looking down from above.
Yeah, it's hard not to get caught up in the mystery.
It really is.
Absolutely. And then there's the Sumerian Anunnaki.
Okay, the Anunnaki.
Those beings described in ancient clay tablets
Right.
who supposedly came down from the sky and had a hand in creating human civilization.
I first heard about the Anunnaki in a video game when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
These ancient stories might actually be about aliens.
Yeah.
My mind was blown.
It's definitely a rabbit hole you can go down.
Oh, for sure.
And then there are the Indian epic poems like the Mahabharata and Ramayana.
Right.
They have detailed descriptions of these flying chariots called vimanas.
Flying chariots in ancient India sounds a bit like those UFO sightings people report today.
It does, doesn't it?
Just a different time period.
Different time, same mystery maybe.
What else is there?
Oh, we can't forget about the mysterious artifacts and cave paintings found all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
With depictions that look surprisingly like modern-day ideas of aliens.
Like what specifically?
Large heads, almond-shaped eyes, strange beings interacting with what appear to be machines.
Okay. It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot to think about.
Pyramids, mysterious lines in the desert, ancient gods from the sky, flying chariots. It's all pretty wild. How do they explain something like the pyramids?
Right.
I mean, even with all our technology today, it would be a huge project.
It would be a massive undertaking even now.
Exactly.
Well, skeptics argue that the construction of the Great Pyramid, while definitely impressive, can be explained by a combination of factors.
Okay, like what?
They point to evidence of advanced engineering knowledge for the time, sophisticated tools and techniques,
All right.
and a really well-organized workforce.
So teamwork makes the dream work,
Exactly.
even back then.
Heading back then.
But wouldn't some people still say that the scale and the precision of these structures point to something beyond human capability?
Oh, absolutely. The debate definitely continues.
Okay.
And when it comes to the Nazca lines,
Yeah.
skeptics offer alternative explanations for those too.
Oh, okay, I'm listening.
Instead of being messages for aliens,
Right.
they suggest that the lines might have been ritual pathways,
Oh.
astronomical markers,
Interesting.
or even elaborate systems for collecting water.
So maybe those lines weren't meant for eyes in the sky after all.
Maybe not.
But what about all those ancient texts that are full of gods and flying chariots?
Right.
That's got to be evidence of something extraterrestrial.
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Skeptics remind us that stories about gods coming down from the heavens, flying machines, and otherworldly beings are actually pretty common.
Really?
Yeah, they pop up in mythology and folklore all over the world.
Huh. I never thought about it that way.
They argue that these stories are more likely to be symbolic or allegorical.
Meaning what?
They're representations of humans trying to understand the universe, natural phenomena, and the mysteries of existence.
So now let's have some fun.
All right.
What if, just for a moment, we'd have to admit that maybe a lot of those achievements were influenced by extraterrestrials?
Potentially even guided or directed by them.
Okay, so are we saying the pyramids were built with alien tech?
It's a possibility.
And those Nazca lines, were they like some cosmic GPS system?
Maybe.
It's crazy to think about.
It is wild.
And those ancient texts that we've always thought of as myths,
Right.
they might actually be accounts of real encounters with beings from other worlds.
It's possible.
Wow, our understanding of religion and spirituality would be totally different.
Completely transformed.
It's like hitting the reset button on everything we thought we knew.
Yeah, it's a pretty radical idea.
But beyond history, wouldn't this also impact our understanding of technology?
Oh, absolutely.
In what way?
Think about it. What if ancient aliens shared advanced knowledge with our ancestors?
Knowledge that we've lost over time.
Exactly. Lost, or maybe even intentionally hidden.
Could we rediscover that lost tech? Maybe reverse engineer it.
It's a possibility, and the implications are huge.
It's like a sci-fi movie coming to life.
Right.
Stumbling upon some ancient alien artifact that unlocks secrets of anti-gravity or teleportation.
Exactly.
It's mind-blowing.
It is.
But maybe the biggest impact of all is the philosophical one.
That's true.
If we're not alone in the universe, if intelligent life has been here before, how does that change how we see ourselves?
I mean, are we just a tiny speck in a vast universe?
Or do we have some special significance that drew these visitors to Earth?
It's a question that has no easy answer.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of ancient aliens,
Yes.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from this?
Keep an open mind, stay curious, and never stop exploring.
I like that.
The universe is full of mysteries.
It really is.
And who knows what we might discover as we keep searching.
Well said. And hey, maybe someday we'll find that undeniable proof of ancient alien contact.
You never know.
Until then, keep looking up at those stars and let your imagination run wild.
That's the best we can do.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.